But they also say that he might have been collaborating with the enemy. Maybe some say to save his own life, to keep himself from being beheaded, or he actually was a believer in the Taliban cause. And his last rant, which was repeated his email, which was repeated in the Rolling Stone magazine, showed he was flat out anti-American.
Yeah, he said, "I'm ashamed to be an American." And we're hearing from our sources now that he's also having trouble speaking English, not even sure if he knows how to speak English anymore.
Yeah, one other thing is you wonder why given the fact that a couple of years ago they'd already discounted him as a deserter, why would the President of the United States embrace his family in the Rose Garden? Well, apparently they were thinking that the release of Bergdahl would be like back in 1981 when all those American hostages came home from Iran. They thought it would be a feel-good story like that. Of course, whoever the message makers were at the White House, they didn't peel back a couple of layers of the onion to figure out that this Bergdahl guy has a very problematic story. Dick Cheney, former Vice President of the United States, says they really should have done some more checking because the photo op at the White House, not a good idea.
I think they have, in fact, negotiated with terrorists, and I don't think they got a very good deal. I think the whole transaction represents really bad staff work. I'd be very, very careful before you run the president out to sort of claim victory at having earned the release of somebody who, in effect, went AWOL, apparently, and left his post. So if I were there, I would not have supported the transaction, and I would have been, I think, made the effort to make certain the president didn't get exposed in a way that ultimately could be very embarrassing.
I mean, here's a go ahead, Ainsley.
In that same interview, he went on to say he thinks that those 5 are going to do it again, and it's just a matter of time.
Those with sources tell Fox News that in the executive branch, that they're quite baffled by the White House decision to allow the president to stand alongside Sergeant Bergdahl's father, who in the Rose Garden the past weekend has made some anti-American tweets and statements, one of which was, "I'm working to free all the Gitmo prisoners. God will repay the death of every Afghan child." Yeah. Really? I mean, he says he was growing his beard because his son was in captivity. Well, your son's out now. Right. So if you really don't no longer want to look like a member of the Taliban, you don't have to look like a member of the Taliban. Are you out of razors?
Apparently, the father was tweeting to a Taliban spokesperson the message about, I'm trying to spring everybody from Gitmo. That particular tweet has since been deleted.
Meanwhile, his dad was no prized possession either and isn't. And some in the executive branch are even wondering who's the one who gave the go sign for the father and mother to show up in the Rose Garden and make that announcement yesterday. And meanwhile, he makes in his Arabic-speaking message to his son, he basically praises Allah at the end.
Well,
nice little touch.
Political observers now are suggesting that the White House team really blew it by having the Bergdahls right there, given the fact that apparently they knew the intel community had a major classified file on him. They knew he walked away. They knew he was a deserter. And there's the president embracing the family. And the family, they worked for 5 years to get their son back. And we can all understand that.